Dear friends, welcome back. In this video, I'd like to continue our series of natas. I think the things are getting more and more interesting and more complicated. And to do this series, we need to get a better understanding of PHP programming language, which is also very important technique or skills, right, for any professional pen tester. So without further ado, let's just get started. The level I'm going to do together with you would be from 20 to 21. So then we can switch over to the Kali Linux VM. I've already opened up the Natas site, and we can copy this URL and paste, open up a new tab and paste into the address bar. And we can modify the level 0 to 20, and we can press enter, and we can provide the username Latas 20, and we can copy its password from my notebook. Of course, I advise you do this way. So then we can follow along this path of Natas. We do not need to go back to start from scratch, right? So we can copy the password and paste into the password field to sign in. We are logged in as a regular user. Even we didn't submit, we didn't do any authentication yet, except the basic authentication. And however, we are logged in as a regular user. And in the previous two levels, we used the brute force to hijack the session ID, and by hijacking the session ID to manipulate as a domain, and then we can get the password for the next level, right? So here, I think the first point I'd like to say here is maybe at this point we have already got some sort of the cookie, because here we are logged in as a regular user. It does, and we can copy this cookie and paste into my notebook, and the key name is this one. We can paste here. Okay, so now we can move forward. We can put something like JSON and change name. Nothing returned. So because we are provided with this source code, we can open link in new tab. And next, we need to understand this PHP code to do this level. Okay. So the first part, this is optional. We can pass the debug parameter, and this should be, this should be done by the get method. So maybe we can do it now. So there should be debug 1. Press enter. As you can see here, we got more messages from the target, my right, and some random information, and save in. I think this should be the path, the sessions, my mess, and I think the first part is the same as this one. Okay. So, okay, I think now at this moment, at this point, these two strings are the same. So now we go, sorry, I have already closed up. And we can continue. And I think the next function is the very important. This function will be printing credentials. However, to print the credentials, this should be, met. You need to have the session, the variable, and also the session has key. The key name is a domain, And also the value for this key is 1. So we can copy. This is our objective, right? We need to set the session, and the session needed to have the key value. The key name is admin, and the value should be 0. Okay, I hope I've already explained it clearly. Okay, so now we can go forward. Oh, I think I can close up this one. And next function, I think this function is useless because always return true. And similarly, my close, we do not need to think about this function. Next function, very important, my read. It looks like read some data, and we need to pass the parameter session ID and the debug. So the my read and followed by the session ID. So of course we cannot use, just I mentioned, maybe we cannot use brute forcing like we did against the previous level or previous 2 levels. You know, in the 2 previous levels, the session ID consists of simple digits. So we can use the Python to, or like a Burp Suite to, you know, to make brute forcing. However, as you can see over here, the SID, session ID, consists of much bigger collections or possible characters like digits and also lowercase and uppercase character, and will, you know, debug invalid SID and the file name. So the file name should be the current session path followed by the slash and the man-mesh. I think this would be a bit familiar, right? We have already seen this information. Okay, so this should be the session ID. And so I think we need to, you know, I think so far we have already been clear. We need to put something into this file. Okay, so how to do? Let's go back. And so even though such a file exists, we'll print out this debugging message and reading from this file, and the data, this function just you know, grab the content of from this file, and we'll define the array, you know, or something like a list in Python, and we'll do the loop. And here, so I think the data or the content of this file will be separated as a line. Okay, different lines. And the paths also will do the separation, and the separation will be separated by the space. Okay, and then read, the data should be like this one. So the first the path should be, you know, like the list, and the first element should be the key name. Okay, and the second one should be the value. So I think because just now I mentioned we need to, you know, set the session and the key name is admin. So I think we need to try to write admin as key here, and the value is 0. Okay, and then I think we can get or retrieve the password for the next level. And the next function, before we do, you know, try to read the data, we need to write. So some debugging, we do not need, you know, take into consideration this part, and we'll save this file, and the file name or the file path is like this one. So the data define the data variable, and we'll do the we'll do the looping and the key and the value. So I think how to save the or write should be like this one, the data and concatenate. Okay, maybe we have a different the keys and the value pairs, and then we'll concatenate all key pairs, all pairs. Okay, and for each key pair, we'll write into the file as in this form. So the key and the value, and between them should be space, and followed by the line separator. Okay, so next, and then we can write into the file, and these two functions are totally useless. And this one, so the request, the lim, as we know, this should be, we can open up the inspect and go to the network, and we can refresh like a JSON and change lim, the post. So I think the request, this should be the post data, or maybe we can use the get, because the PHP use request a way to capture the information submitted by the client. So how to do? If we do not do any manipulation, and the information would be right into the file, would be like this one. So the lim, and followed by the JSON. Okay, and maybe we, as you can see over here, we can pass the parameter debug, and we can press enter, and JSON, change lim. Okay, so why debug, and so the JSON, or maybe we can use Boba Suite. All right, I think this doesn't matter. I think I've already explained it clear. So if we do not do anything wrong or malicious, which kind of information will be saved into the file? And the file name, the file path is this one. Okay, the path, this should be the session ID. And so here we need to manipulate this value. For example, if we can put the line separator, and of course we can use this. This would be better to explain. So if we can save two lines, and this should be the key and the value, and the next should be the another key and the value for this key. Okay, so how to write? Because as you can see over here, and we can manipulate this part. Okay, so if we can put the line separator, and then when read or retrieve the such data would be inputted as two lines, and each line consists of key pairs. Okay, let me show you how to do in practice. So we can use the Q, and I'd like to autocomplete this command. So here, this is the URL, of course, because just I mentioned we can use get rather than post, because this would be simpler for us to submit. Otherwise, we need to use the data option, and we need to make URL encoding, and also this represents the line separator or new line, and this should be the space. Of course, the cookie, we need to get it from the browser. And we can copy it, and we can paste in here. And when we execute this command, and the web application will try to write the data into the file. Let's press enter. Now we are still logged in as regular user. However, if you run it again, this time we'll try to read the data from the file. Okay. As you can see, we successfully retrieved the password for the next level. So that's all I'd like to going to do in this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.